There is a secret that the few who rise above know well. Those who act as if they have nothing to lose are the ones who gain everything. The world is not withholding from you. Your own fear of loss is the only thing standing in your way. What if I told you that loss is an illusion? That what you hold on to so tightly is not meant to be possessed, but experienced. The man who walks through life afraid to lose will never truly live. But the one who moves boldly, as if the universe itself is his ally, finds that life bends to his will. You must step beyond fear. Fear is nothing more than a shadow cast by a mind clinging to the past or dreading an imagined future. Yet in this very moment you are free, free to assume the life you desire, free to act as though nothing stands between you and your vision. Do you wish to be wealthy? Then walk, speak, and think as one who already is. Do you long for love? Then embody the energy of one already loved, already fulfilled. Do you dream of success? Then move through the world as if it is inevitable. And here is the greatest secret. When you no longer fear losing, you become magnetic. Opportunities arise effortlessly. People are drawn to you. Life begins to unfold in ways beyond what you once believed possible. Because the one who fears nothing controls everything. The one who assumes their wish is already fulfilled does not wait, does not chase, does not beg. They simply walk in the certainty that it is done. So I ask you now, will you dare to act as if you have nothing to lose? Will you step forward as though the universe is already conspiring in your favor? Because the moment you do, the moment you let go of fear, you will find that everything you have ever desired was waiting for you to claim it all along. Everything you have ever believed to be yours is, in truth, a passing shadow, an ever-changing reflection of the state of your mind. The idea of loss is a deception, an illusion woven so deeply into human consciousness that most never stop to question it. They clutch to what they believe is theirs: people, possessions, status, fearing that without them they will somehow be diminished. Yet what if you understood that nothing is ever truly lost? What if you knew that all things in life are merely shifting forms, constantly moving through the flow of existence? Consider the river. It never holds on to the water that flows through it, yet it remains a river. The ocean does not fear the receding tide, for it knows that the waves will return. And so it is with your life. The people who enter, the opportunities that appear, the possessions you acquire, none of these are permanent fixtures. They are experiences, moments that arise and dissolve, like waves upon the shore. To grieve their departure is to resist the natural order, to misunderstand the nature of reality itself. If you look back upon your life, you will see that what you once mourned as a loss often led to something greater. The job you were so desperate to keep, the relationship that fell apart, the money that slipped through your fingers. At the time, it may have seemed like a cruel misfortune. But now, standing where you are, can you not see how each apparent loss carved a new path for you? How each door that closed forced you to step into something new, something unforeseen, yet ultimately necessary? The only reason you suffer over loss is that you have falsely identified yourself with the things you believe you own. You say, this is my house, my career, my reputation, my loved one, but in truth you are none of these things. You are not what you own, nor are you what you have lost. The essence of who you are remains unchanged, untouched by the shifting circumstances of the world. When you let go of the illusion that anything external defines you, you also let go of the fear of losing it. Freedom comes when you understand that life is not about accumulation, but about movement. It is not about clinging, but about allowing. What you think you own is simply passing through, like a traveler who stops for a time before continuing their journey. When you resist this truth, when you hold on too tightly, you suffer. You chain yourself to things that were never meant to be possessed, only experienced. There is nothing you have ever truly lost. The relationships that ended, the opportunities that disappeared, the moments that slipped through your grasp, each one served its purpose. They came to teach you, to shape you, to guide you towards something greater. And when their time was done, they moved on, not as a punishment, but as a necessary step in your evolution. What if, instead of mourning what is gone, you embraced the space it left behind? What if, instead of fearing loss, you saw it as a transformation, a clearing for something new? A tree does not grieve when its leaves fall in autumn, nor does it fight to keep them. It simply lets go, knowing that new leaves will grow when the time is right. You are not here to hold on to things, to grasp at fleeting moments. You are here to experience, to expand, to evolve. And each time something leaves your life, it is not an ending but a passage. It is a transition, a shift that is guiding you toward what is meant for you. So release the fear, release the attachment, understand that in this vast, infinite universe, nothing is ever truly lost. It is only transformed, only taking a new shape, only making room for something greater to enter. Fear is the silent architect of limitation, constructing invisible walls around your potential. It whispers doubts, plants hesitation, and convinces you that stepping beyond the known is dangerous. Yet, if you were to pause and truly examine the nature of this fear, you would see that it has no substance of its own. It exists only in your mind, a projection of past experiences, conditioned beliefs, and imagined outcomes. It is not the world that restricts you, but your acceptance of these imagined barriers as real. Everything you desire lies just beyond the threshold of fear. The opportunities you dream of, the success you crave, the freedom you long for, all of it is within reach, but only if you dare to step beyond the mental walls you have constructed. Most people live their entire lives confined by these self-imposed limitations. They do not act, not because they are truly incapable, but because they believe they are. They do not chase their dreams, not because they are unreachable, but because they fear failure, rejection, or the unknown. But what is fear truly? It is not a force in the world, not a physical barrier that holds you back. It is a story, a series of thoughts that you have repeated so often they feel real. You were not born afraid. You learned fear. You absorbed it from the world, from experiences that conditioned you to play small, to be cautious, to stay within the lines. And yet, for every person who has lived trapped by fear, there are those who have broken free. Those who have realized that fear is a choice, not a truth. The moment you decide to move despite fear, you strip it of its power. Fear is only paralyzing when you submit to it, when you allow it to dictate your actions. But when you step forward anyway, something remarkable happens. The walls you once saw as impenetrable dissolve. You begin to see that the limits you once believed in were never real to begin with. The job you thought you couldn't apply for, the relationship you feared would fail, the dream you convinced yourself was impossible, all of it was only unattainable because you told yourself it was. Fear is a gatekeeper, and it asks only one question: how badly do you want it? Those who allow fear to stop them remain prisoners of their own minds, never venturing beyond what is safe, predictable, and ordinary. But those who refuse to bow to fear, who push through the discomfort, who act even when their hands tremble, these are the ones who unlock infinite possibilities. They are the ones who discover that the only thing standing between them and the life they desire was a thought, an illusion, a belief that never had to be true. Think of the moments in your life when you were most afraid. Perhaps it was speaking in front of others, taking a risk, or stepping into an unfamiliar situation. Now think of the times when you overcame that fear. Did the world crumble? Did you collapse under the weight of the unknown? Or did you emerge stronger, more confident, more free? Every time you have faced fear, you have proven to yourself that it is powerless once confronted. And yet, each new fear tries to convince you that this time is different. But it is not different. The pattern is always the same. Fear arises, it tries to hold you back, and if you resist it, it fades. Every single time. Imagine if you lived as though fear had no control over you. What would you do? Who would you become? How much more of life would you experience if you no longer allowed fear to dictate your choices? The truth is, you are already free. The walls that confine you were never real. And the moment you decide to release fear, to refuse to let it shape your actions, the world opens up to you in ways you never imagined possible. The greatest secret hidden in plain sight is this: your reality is not something happening to you, it is something happening through you. Every experience, every opportunity, and every challenge you encounter is a reflection of your inner state, your beliefs, your assumptions, and the way you see yourself in relation to the world. Most people believe they must work tirelessly, struggle endlessly, and prove their worth before success can be theirs. But the truth is far simpler. If you assume success is already yours, reality has no choice but to conform to that assumption. When you walk into a room with absolute confidence, others respond to you differently. When you expect things to go in your favor, you carry yourself in a way that invites positive outcomes. This is not luck or coincidence. It is the law of assumption in action. Your world is a mirror, faithfully reflecting back to you whatever you impress upon it. If you assume wealth, opportunities, and success are already yours, you naturally align your actions, decisions, and mindset to match that assumption. And as you do, the outer world bends to accommodate it. Most people live in reaction to what they see, unaware that they themselves have projected those conditions onto the screen of life. They believe they must wait for proof before they can believe in their success. They tell themselves, I will feel confident once I have achieved something. I will believe in my abundance once I see money in my account. But this is like waiting for a reflection in the mirror to change before altering your expression. It does not work that way. The external follows the internal, not the other way around. The moment you shift your assumption, you shift your world. When you assume success, you stop questioning whether it is possible, whether you are capable, or whether things will work out. Instead, you act from a place of certainty. And this changes everything. You make decisions with confidence. You walk into opportunities as if they were meant for you. You attract the right people, the right circumstances, and the right ideas, because your inner state no longer entertains failure. Look at those who have achieved great things. It is not merely talent, intelligence, or luck that sets them apart. It is their unwavering assumption that success belongs to them. They do not doubt, they do not waver. Even when obstacles arise, they continue forward as if the outcome is inevitable. And because they hold that assumption, reality molds itself around them. Now ask yourself, what are you assuming about your life right now? Are you assuming struggle, lack, and limitation? Or are you assuming abundance, ease, and success? Every assumption you hold is shaping your reality, whether you are aware of it or not. The good news is you can choose to assume something new. You do not need permission, proof, or external validation. You need only to step into the state of already having, already being, already achieving. The greatest shift you can make is to live as though what you desire is already yours. Speak as if it has already happened. Walk as if you are already the person you dream of becoming. Feel the reality of it so deeply that the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. You do not manifest what you want, you manifest what you assume to be true. If you assume success, success must follow. If you assume failure, failure will meet you at every turn. The power has always been in your hands. The world is simply waiting for you to decide. There is a paradox in life that many fail to see. The more desperately you cling to something, the more it eludes you. The tighter you grasp, the further it slips away. This is true in relationships, in success, in wealth, anything you desire. The moment you make something your source of happiness, your lifeline, or your identity, you create resistance. But when you release that attachment, when you stop needing it to feel complete, something extraordinary happens. The very things you once chased begin to chase you. Why? Because detachment creates magnetism. It signals confidence, self-sufficiency, and a deep knowing that what is meant for you cannot be lost. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you move through life with an energy that is impossible to ignore. You are no longer driven by desperation, but by inner certainty. And that certainty is the most attractive force in the universe. Think about it. The person who walks into a room without seeking approval, who is completely at ease within themselves, naturally draws others in. The job candidate who approaches an interview with confidence, not anxiety, makes a lasting impression. The entrepreneur who is not afraid to fail, who takes risks without fear of loss, is the one who ultimately succeeds. Why? Because they are not gripping onto the outcome. They are moving with the flow of life, knowing that whatever is meant for them will find its way. Desperation repels. It creates an energy of lack, a signal to the world that you do not believe you already possess what you seek. And when you act from a place of lack, you only receive more lack in return. But detachment, true effortless detachment, signals abundance. It tells the universe, I already have everything within me. If this comes, wonderful. If not, I remain whole. That energy is irresistible. Look at nature. A river does not cling to its water, yet it flows endlessly. The sun does not chase the moon, yet they dance in perfect harmony. The tree does not beg the wind to move its leaves, yet the breeze always comes. There is no force, no strain, only effortless being. This is the state you must adopt in your own life. Let things come and go without grasping. Hold nothing so tightly that its loss would shake you. Because the truth is, nothing external was ever yours to begin with. Everything in this world is passing through. When you understand this, you become free. Does this mean you should not desire? Not at all. Desire is natural. But there is a difference between desiring and needing. Desire is expansive. It propels you forward. Neediness is restrictive. It traps you in fear. When you can want something without being consumed by it, when you can move toward your dreams without making them your identity, you unlock a new level of power. You move with confidence, with ease, with the quiet knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you. This is why those who embody detachment seem to attract everything effortlessly. They are not burdened by the weight of wanting. They are not frantic in their pursuit. They have already decided deep within that they are enough, with or without the thing they desire. And because of that, life bends in their favor. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to so tightly that it is slipping away? A relationship, a goal, a dream? Release your grip. Act as if you have nothing to lose, and you will find that you gain everything. Move as though you already possess what you seek. Live as though it is already yours. And in doing so, you will become magnetic to all that you desire. The world does not reward hesitation. It does not open doors for those who stand in doubt, questioning their own power. The ones who shape reality, who bend life to their will, are those who move with unwavering certainty. The bold always win, not because they are superior, not because they have more resources or advantages, but because they have decided, deep within, that they will win. This decision alone shifts everything. When you step forward with boldness, unseen forces move in your favor. Opportunities appear where none seem to exist. People respond to you differently, sensing the confidence in your presence. Life itself seems to conspire on your behalf, not because of luck, but because certainty is a force that demands recognition. Most people wait for permission. They wait for signs, for approval, for reassurance that they are on the right path. But the bold do not wait. They move first, and the world adjusts accordingly. Consider how the greatest leaders, innovators, and visionaries have moved through life. They did not wait for conditions to be perfect before they acted. They did not hesitate because of fear or doubt. They stepped forward with an unshakable knowing that success was already theirs. And because they assumed victory, reality had no choice but to meet them at their assumption. Hesitation is a signal to the universe that you are unsure. It creates instability, opening the door for obstacles, delays, and missed opportunities. But when you move with boldness, when you act as if what you seek is already yours, you collapse the waiting period. You eliminate the space for doubt to creep in. You do not need to see the entire path. You need only to take the first step with conviction. And as you do, the next step reveals itself. Imagine two people entering a negotiation. One is timid, hoping they will be taken seriously, unsure of their worth. The other walks in with absolute certainty, already knowing the outcome will be in their favor. Who do you think wins? The one who moves with boldness. Not because they are more deserving, but because they expect to win. Their energy, their presence, their very being commands it. The same principle applies to all areas of life: business, relationships, personal growth. If you approach something with hesitation, the world hesitates in response. If you approach with certainty, the world reflects that certainty back to you. The key is to act as if the outcome is already secured, not to wish, not to hope, but to know, to embody the state of already having, already achieving, already becoming. But boldness does not mean recklessness. It is not about making impulsive decisions or ignoring wisdom. It is about moving forward with a deep inner conviction, unshaken by temporary setbacks. The bold do not let fear dictate their actions. They understand that fear is an illusion, a barrier that only exists if they choose to acknowledge it, and so they move past it, knowing that fear dissolves the moment they refuse to entertain it. So many people live their lives in hesitation, waiting for a sign that it is safe to act. But the truth is, the sign comes after the action. The confirmation appears after the decision is made. Life responds to movement. The moment you commit fully, unseen forces align to support you. The resources, the people, the circumstances, they all begin to shift in ways you could not have predicted. But none of it happens until you move first. Ask yourself, where in your life have you been waiting when you should be moving? What dreams have you placed on hold because you are waiting for the right moment? The right moment is now. It has always been now. Step forward boldly. Move as if success is inevitable. Act as though the world has no choice but to give you what you seek. Because when you do, it won't have a choice. The bold always win. Your life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Every experience, every opportunity, every challenge you face is a reflection of the story you tell yourself. Most people live as if they are mere passengers in their own lives, reacting to circumstances, blaming fate, and believing they have no control. But the truth is, you are the creator. The script of your life is written by your thoughts, your beliefs, and the assumptions you hold about yourself and the world. If you wish to change your reality, you must begin by changing the story you tell yourself. Look at your life right now, everything in it. The good, the bad, the extraordinary, the mundane is the result of what you have accepted as true. The way you see yourself, the way you believe the world treats you, the expectations you hold, these are not passive thoughts. They are the very foundation upon which your reality is built. If you tell yourself you are unlucky, life will provide evidence to confirm it. If you tell yourself you are powerful, life will rearrange itself to reflect that power. You may argue that circumstances are beyond your control, that life is unpredictable, and that external forces determine your fate. But even this belief is part of the story you have chosen to accept. And as long as you accept it, it will remain true for you. The moment you shift your perspective, the moment you decide to see yourself as the creator, reality will begin to reshape itself accordingly. The world is a mirror, faithfully reflecting back whatever you assume to be true. If you expect difficulty, you will encounter obstacles. If you expect ease, doors will open where you once saw walls. This is not wishful thinking, it is the very nature of existence. Your assumptions create your experience, and your unwavering belief cements it into reality. What would happen if you began to tell yourself a new story? If you decided that life was unfolding in your favor, that success was inevitable, that you were worthy of everything you desire? What if, instead of doubting, you assumed that what you wanted was already yours? Reality would have no choice but to reflect that new assumption. This is the power of unwavering belief. When you act as if your vision is already real, when you carry yourself with the confidence of someone who knows rather than someone who hopes, everything shifts. The people around you respond differently. Opportunities appear effortlessly. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. But you must be consistent. Doubt is the great destroyer of creation. The moment you question, the moment you waver, you disrupt the process. Imagine planting a seed and then digging it up every day to check if it is growing. It never has a chance to take root. Your beliefs work the same way. If you declare yourself successful but then immediately worry about failure, you cancel out your own creation. You must commit fully, without hesitation. The great secret is this: life does not respond to wishful thinking, it responds to certainty. You must move as if your desire is already fact. You must embody the version of yourself who already has what you seek. Speak, act, and think from that place, and the world will reshape itself to match your assumption. Most people wait for evidence before they believe, but the Creator does the opposite. They believe first and the evidence follows. This is how reality bends. It does not happen through force or struggle, but through inner transformation. Change your assumption, and everything external will shift to align with it. What story are you telling yourself? Is it one of power, abundance, and certainty? Or is it one of limitation, fear, and doubt? You hold the pen, you are the author, and at any moment you can rewrite the narrative. Decide now that you are worthy. Decide now that life bends in your favor. Hold that belief without wavering and watch as the world molds itself to your vision. Everything you seek is already within you. The reality you experience is not dictated by external forces, but by the story you choose to tell yourself. Fear is an illusion, loss is transformation, and assumption is the power that shapes your world. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, when you move with boldness, the universe responds in kind. The moment you detach, you become magnetic. The moment you assume victory, life rushes to confirm it.